Hi. Today we are going to talk about the eyes. The eyes. The eyes are the best form of communication. Emerson said, "The eyes are the window to our soul." So why are we talking about the eyes today? Well, the eyes have a lot to do with how we communicate with other people. The eyes are the first thing that we see in someone. And if we're really trying to make a connection with somebody, it's super important to make good eye contact and know exactly what you're doing with your eyes. So, number one, within the first 7 seconds that you meet someone, they will have decided whether they like you or not. So you need to optimize those first 7 seconds. How I do that when I'm working with clients or with patients or my family and my husband is I directly am looking into their eyes for 2 to 3 seconds. While I do that, I use a process that I learned from Og Mandini. His book is The Greatest Salesman in the World. And in that book, he writes about these scrolls. And scroll number 2 talks about eye contact and how to connect with people through your eyes. And his technique is that he looks them in the eye. And while he's looking, he says, "I love you." No words, just with the eyes. So practice that. It takes less than 1 second. I actually timed it. Those 3 words come very simply. So if we're trying to make a 7-second or 7-second impression, less than 1 second it takes for you to make the eye contact and say, "I love you." So that's the technique that I use with patients. It is amazing how many times people say to me, "I just feel so connected to you, Donna." Whatever that thing is that you do. Well, that thing is I am making direct eye contact immediately when I am meeting my patients. I'm also looking at their eyes to see if their pupils are big or if their pupils are little. Can be telling to you about how their health is. People that have large pupils are are often suffering with things like anxiety and fear and living in a very sympathetic, nervous energy. If you look at somebody's pupils and they're small, they are generally more healthy and more balanced. It actually is an indicator of how long they will live in life. So I think that was kind of interesting. They've actually done studies on the eyes. They studied infants, and in infants, what they found was the eyes are the very first thing that infants are following. They're not following our head movements, they're following our eye movements. So we learned from a very early age just how important these eye movements can be and how powerful the eye is. It is really the first thing you want to do with people is make a connection. If you're wanting to connect with patients at your practice, you're wanting to connect with your family, you want your kids to feel understood, you really want to get down on eye level. Anytime that you're standing above a person, you are more of an authoritative role. So you really want to make sure that when you're practicing your eye contact, that it's fairly direct eye contact. Again, the eyes tell people that you are confident. They feel like you like them and they feel understood by you. And isn't that what we all want? We all want to feel like somebody understands who we are and what we are. They also did a study at the University of Stirling, and the study indicated that if you want people to remember you long after you're gone, the one solid thing that you can do is maintain good eye contact. So the eyes are the window of the soul. And I want you to practice a couple things with your eyes. One is just staring forward and looking out your peripheral. And then relax. And then staring forward, also looking out your peripheral. And then relax. And then I also want you to practice saying, "I love you" with your eyes. I cannot begin to tell you how powerful that has been for me in my practice. I mean, I really feel like it was a game changer, along with a few other things, but eye contact has to be right on. You cannot meet people and be looking all around and thinking that you're going to have a connection, because you're just not. So really be thinking about the eye contact. Also, when you're speaking to people in a group, if you have 3 people, you want to move 2 seconds, 2 seconds, 2 seconds, 2 seconds, 2 seconds, 2 seconds. Every person matters. And when you spend time focusing on each person, you're verifying that they're important, and they are. We really don't know what will happen after this encounter that we have with him. I mean, 5 years may go by, and the person that you normally wouldn't have been looking at because they didn't really have a lot in common with you, maybe the very person ends up helping you. So please don't ignore people in a group when you're in a group talking. Even though this person over here, you may have everything in common with, remember, this person and this person are also very important. And making 2 to 3 second eye contact with each of them will go a long way. And one thing your mother always said is, look me in the eye. And there was a reason for that, because she could tell by your eyes whether you were lying or not. So take this video. The biggest thing I want you to do is just really practice saying I love you with your eyes and just resting in that. And then 2 to 3 seconds, move away, because we don't want to stare at people either. All righty, bye-bye.